Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory going to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, crocodiles, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, salutations to all you occupants out there, pressing this truth for all honesty and sincerity. It's your brother Nayab. I'm back with another news update. It's for fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use, and for educational purposes only. This is a long one, you guys, so let's see. Yep, so let's go.
It's Friday night, and right now at 11, the lights are on, and so is the party. Pride weekend is here, and you can see the celebration literally shooting across the sky. Rainbow lasers lighting up Market Street. Tens of thousands of people are kicking off the celebrations. It's one of the biggest weekends of the year in the city of San Francisco, and it's only going to get bigger as the weekend goes on. NBC Bay Area's Alyssa Gord is live at the Embarcadero with a look at the festivities that are underway. Festive atmosphere, Alyssa?
It really is, Chris. The party's actually still going on. We didn't think it would still be going on, but there's still a couple dozen people who are out here listening to music and watching the bubbles. Hope you can see some of the art installation that just went live here. It's made possible by 20 of what they call laser cannons that are projecting a rainbow all the way down Market Street. This is all part of the Pride celebrations here in the city of San Francisco. 3, 2,
Some Israeli soldiers have been speaking to local media about the killings at the food sites. The Haaretz newspaper says soldiers were ordered to deliberately shoot Palestinians near aid centres, despite them not posing a danger to anyone. We're going to go now to Hamda Salut in Jordan's capital, Amman. She's there because the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting inside Israel, as well as the occupied West Bank. Hamda, this is a remarkable admission. What more was revealed in these reports?
A shocking admission in the Israeli newspaper Haaretz that interviewed a lot of different soldiers and commanders talking about how they were given orders to shoot and kill Palestinians who were seeking aid in order to disperse the crowds. Now, for nearly a month since this all began on May 27th, the Israeli military and the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation have either denied or downplayed the fact that there are Palestinians getting killed while they are seeking aid. People in Gaza have said that these distribution centers have now become a trap for Palestinians, and several different AIDS groups have said that the Palestinians are left with no choice to either starve to death or die seeking the very little food that is offered within the distribution centers from the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which from the beginning was this sort of shadowy group, incredibly controversial, still unclear who exactly is backing it, who exactly gave it this initial funding. The Israelis denied it, the Americans denied it, but many are pointing the finger at the Israelis for wanting to control all of the humanitarian distributions in order to get more access militarily inside of Gaza. But what this report is saying is that the 549 Palestinians who've been killed in the last month seeking aid were killed by Israeli soldiers who were given orders to do so.
We have breaking news right now. Donald Trump has announced that he's ending all trade discussions with Canada and will be announcing a major new tariff on all Canadian goods within the next 7 business days. I feel like I'm on a freaking roller coaster that never ends. A new Truth Social
Israel is now being accused of drugging the population of Gaza because when they started opening bags of flour that has been distributed to Palestinians by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is funded and controlled by the US and Israel, they found pills inside of it, and they thought they would test the pills, and they found out it was oxycodone, and you would probably think that maybe somebody's just trying to smuggle things into Gaza, but then they tested the flour and found out that the pills were crushed up into the flour. Israel is now being accused of drugging the population of
Health Month. And before we step into July, I spoke one-on-one with a doctor and Johns Hopkins professor about why it's so important for men to monitor their mental health. Associate Professor of Psychiatry, Dr. Paul Nestat, tells me while men may be sometimes less willing to seek help, they are more likely to die by suicide, even though women attempt suicide 3 to 4 times more often.
And a big part of that is killed more than 500 protesters and imprisoned some 20,000 people. Pahlavi says this clearly shows Iranians are ready to sacrifice for revolution.
Nobody said that freedom comes for free. The price sometimes is extremely high. But are you willing to say that just because it's too expensive, I'm not going to purchase it and put up with what otherwise would be annihilation, demise? We don't have a choice. We have to do it. We have to do it for survival. We have to do it for sanity. We have to do it for humanity. We have to do it for our own interests, no matter what it takes.
Pahlavi, who idealizes Martin Luther King Jr. and Mahatma Gandhi for their pursuit of non-violent campaigns for political change, runs the National Council of Iraq, killed more than 500 protesters and imprisoned some 20,000 people. Pahlavi says this clearly shows Iranians are ready to sacrifice for revolution.
The Palestinian people, whose DNA goes back to the Canaanite people.
No, he just lied. So, Palestinian people, all right, are the Arabs. They go back to Ishmael. Okay. Let me get my contact Bible dictionary. Give me 2 seconds. And here it go. I think it's on the next page. All right, listen to this. It says Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races. All right, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and Canaanites. Canaanites are Africans, not Palestinians. Palestinians are Arab people. They lied.
Over 3,500 years ago, which I don't care about. As a study, well, because some of the spectrum of opinion revolves around a people who perhaps didn't belong there. So I'm saying that DNA evidence proves that you have millions of people.
That land was only given to the Hebrew Israelites, to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Only reason why I say this video is so I can just teach y'all something, because they're trying to paint the narrative that they think they belong in that land and they don't. They're not God's chosen people. Neither will they ever will be. Thank you.
And I don't know if y'all fellas notice what's been going on right now with these hoes, but that tax money gone. That motherfucking tax money gone, and these hoes back in a bind again. You ain't heard from me all 2 or 3 months. Getting a text now. Fat mom miss you. Never. You keep that musty motherfucker where you said, I don't know. Hit you 2 months ago. You didn't want to hit me back. I'm busy. Is that all you think about? Big. Now you want some money? Never. Bitch, you a star. Do you hear me? You a star. Yeah, back to chili dog now. Chili dogs and fries. Yeah. You bad something eat you. You seafood ball eating, lobster crab, big catfish eating ass motherfucker. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm balling. Your ass ain't balling now. Looking out the window every time you hear a truck, you think it's the repo, and it is. Let them call me, because I'm the one co-signing for that motherfucker. Let them call me. Come and get it.
My very specific question for you, right, is that you're an investor in
Antichrist is basically most people. If you don't believe in the Lord, Yahweh Bahashim and Yahweh Shai, the true and only Lord and Savior, all right, the Father and His Son, Yahweh Yahweh Shai, all right. If you don't believe in them names, then you are anti-Hamashiach, all right, period. There are multiple billions of people that are antichrist because they don't know the name of the Most High or His Son name, which I just gave you.
AI. You're deeply invested in Palantir, in military technology, in technologies of surveillance, in technologies of warfare, and so on, right? And it just seems to me that when you tell me a story about the Antichrist coming to power and using the fear of technological change to sort of impose order on the world, I feel like that Antichrist would maybe be using the tools that you were building, right? Like, wouldn't the Antichrist be like, great, we're not going to have any more technological progress, but I really like what Palantir has done so far, right? Yeah, I mean, isn't that a concern? Wouldn't that be the irony of history would be that the man publicly worrying about the Antichrist accidentally hastens his or her arrival?
There are all these different scenario. I obviously don't think that that's what I'm doing.
I mean, to be clear, I don't think that's what you're doing either. I'm just interested in how you get to a world willing to submit to permanent authoritarian rule.
It will never happen. When Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai come back, He will be the ruler, all right? And underneath Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai will be King David that will be ruling, all right? So it's going to be King David. It's going to be Yahweh the Father, all right? And then underneath him is Yahweh Shai. And underneath Yahweh Shai is King David. And underneath King David is the 144,000. Underneath the 144,000 is the 1/3. Underneath the 1/3 is the rest of Israel. All right?
Well,
But this is Esau's plan. He want to come to this one world domination, this one new world order, and it's not going to happen.
There are these different gradations of this we can describe, but is this so preposterous, what I've just told you, as a broad account of the stagnation that the entire world has submitted for 50 years to peace and safetyism? This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety, and we've submitted to, the FDA regulates not just drugs in the U.S., but de facto in the whole world, because the rest of the world.
Job 9:24 tells you the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Who rules the earth? The so-called white man.
To First, the FDA. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission effectively regulates nuclear power plants all over the world. People, you can't design a modular nuclear reactor and just build it in Argentina. They won't trust the Argentinian regulators. They're going to defer to the U.S. And so it's at least a question about why we've had 50 years of stagnation. And one answer is we ran out of ideas. The other answer is something happened culturally where it wasn't allowed. And then the cultural answer can be sort of a bottom-up answer that it was just some transformation of humanity into...
On this vote, the yeas are 47, the nays are 53, and the motion is not agreed to.
Breaking just moments ago, the Senate voted to reject a war powers resolution that would have forced Donald Trump to go to Congress for approval of further military action against Iran. Every Republican except Rand Paul voted against the measure. Every Democrat but John Fetterman voted for the measure.
Shit's starting to get real between Trump and the Iranian leader. Like I told you before, the Iranian leader said that they won the fight between Israel and America and that they're going to do whatever they want. Trump basically said, if you go by that enrichment center again and start building, we're going to fucking level you again. And it's just that simple. Trump also told them that you're lucky I didn't give the word to have you killed because they would have been picking up pieces of your fucking head off the floor.
Back to our breaking news in the Middle East and the war between Israel and Iran. This is a live look in Jerusalem right now. Iran's foreign minister saying late tonight there is no agreement on a ceasefire with Israel, refuting President Trump's announcement earlier this evening that both Israel and Iran agreed to a, quote, complete and total ceasefire.
Look, Korean live streamer evacuating her Airbnb. Alright. Boom. Bitch got exploded. I love to see this. See what she had on her face. This America is heavily influenced on these other countries across the world. She's wearing eyelashes, bruh. She's wearing eyelashes on top of her eyelashes, and she's fat as fuck. Look at this. That's the blood.
Did you kill Pastor Bill Shanneman?
Yes.
Why?
There's 13 tribes of Israel. So what I wanted to do was execute and crucify 13 priests.
Here's 12 tribes.
And put one of the tribes of Israel in each of their right ears, which I did with this priest. I put the tribe of Benjamin.
So when did this plan?
No. The tribe of Benjamin is the so-called Trinidadians, the Jamaicans today. All right. Not no fucking white people. White people are not Israelites. Again, white people are not Israelites. They are Edomites. Esau, Edom, Edomites. The ones with the small hats, big noses that look like rats, to be in New York tunnels and to be doing crazy shit to kids. Those are Amalekites. Esau grandchildren. They are still Edomites, but they go by Amalek. Thank you.
And come to fruition. You're thinking about this. You want to carry out this hit list?
Yes.
A hit list.
Sure.
14 pastors.
That's right.
This is a white man killing other white people who he think is the people in the Bible, and they're not. He's basically, this is white on white crime. I love to see it.
Around the nation, to surround the nation.
How do you justify that? I mean, if you're killing somebody or multiple people attempted, how does that work?
It's a commandment to rid Israel of evil. I've done this, I've been in and out of prison, so I know. I've run the police probably 100 times in my life.
So you have zero remorse for this kill.
Not only do I have zero remorse, I plan on fulfilling what I started. Do I think I'm a monster? No. No. I see myself as more of like a saint. There's a commandment that if somebody's...
Saints are Israelites. Psalms 50:5 and Psalms 148. Psalms are Israelites. White people are not Israelites. Thank you.
Preaching that
you can't be a saint if you're not an Israelite. It just makes sense. Like, this dude is stupid. Just going around killing your own people. All y'all gonna be rounded up in a pit. All y'all going into captivity, first of all. And then after the end of captivity, after 1,000 years, after when you serve the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're going into you're going to be rounded up, all right, and put in the fucking big ass fucking like a pit, all right. And you gonna be no more, man. You're gonna burn all y'all motherfuckers to death, and there ain't gonna be no more Esau Edom. We're gonna eradicate you motherfuckers.
Somebody other.
And that's when y'all Bashim Yahushua come back. But first y'all have to go into captivity.
God is God. We are to execute.
Don't believe me? Isaiah 14:2.
Them and rid evil of Israel. So I'm obeying that commandment.
Listen up, I'm about to show you something extremely controversial. It's even illegal in the state of Israel to obtain this. And if you do obtain it, it's illegal to show it and or talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, my DNA. Now, I bet you thought it was going to be a lot crazier than that, right? Now, you might ask yourself, why is it illegal to obtain this in the state of Israel? Because it proves through your DNA that Jews around the world have no ancestral ties to the land of Israel. Because it proves through your DNA that Jews around the world have no ancestral ties to the land of Israel.
We Jews have been in the land of Israel since the times of biblical Joshua.
That's a white woman on the screen. No, she has not. See the lies. The one dude that just went before her, he's absolutely correct. Except for that was a fake J. White people are not Jews, bro. They do not come from the tribe of Judah, okay? Stop it. Of course you don't have no ancestral ties to it because you don't even fit the curses in Deuteronomy, dumbass.
Well, another man was found dead, hanging in a tree, this time in Aurora, Colorado. Yesterday, June 27th, 2025, a Hispanic man was found hanging in a tree at Mill Creek Park. After being notified that the body was there, the police took only a couple hours to determine that it was a suicide before essentially tearing down all of the yellow tape and allowing the park to be reopened to the public. Also have not commented on or been able to explain why they're ruling it a suicide when there was no chair, no stool, no ladder. There was nothing there to indicate how he would have gotten up into the tree on his own. The modern day lynching has begun, and whether the Aurora...
Wow, what do we have here? We have the US, UK, and Europe replenishing Israel's stockpile in weapons. Every 2 hours, flights are coming in from all of these locations. This this plane here, 128 tons of military equipment, and then went straight to the airbase hangars, right? So I am telling you now, when I said it day one, they're reloading them for phase 2. This ain't
all these people that you see are fake J's. Alright, this is Amalek.
I said, Rick, are you in your lab? He said, yeah.
Go read Jeremiah 14:2. Alright, it says, Judah mourneth, and the gates there are language, they are black unto the ground. It don't say they are red. Alright, it don't say that they're pale red. They're pale or they're white, which white is just a social construct. Alright, white people aren't white, they're red. Hence the name Esau, Edom, Adawam, alright, which means red.
I said, is anybody there? He said, no. I said, when the results come in, make her Zulu, man. You know? I said, you back there making it up anyway. Nobody believe you could take some spit and figure out a tribe? What, are you crazy?
If you're interested in exploring a tiny bit of your DNA and trace its ancestry, we can do that.
When you say it's a tiny little amount,
It's less than 0.1%.
These DNA tests for ethnicity are entertainment value only.
William Gilliland is a biology professor at DePaul.
He says entertainment only. That means everybody that got y'all test results to be like, oh, I got 23% Scottish, I'm 80, and then I'm 15% Nigerian, fucking 80, and then like 80% Hawaiian. Your fucking test results is off, you dumbass.
He says DNA kits can be...
You know why? Because all the nations go back to the Bible, which these dumb motherfuckers can't obviously see.
great for connecting family members and finding relatives. But the science for ethnicity testing isn't as concrete.
Well, breaking fuck the news. 2 million Americans who borrowed money to go to college are about to have their wages garnished this summer. Yeah.
The blood still running in these people's veins from their ancestors?
Look, I will tell you one thing, okay? That, we have to take revenge thing.
I'm not saying
it's
revenge.
Not, the vendetta version is not really
I'm not saying revenge.
taking well place, right?
I'm not saying revenge.
Everyone's bombing everyone right now, and we're shortly before World War III. Well done. So violence is not bringing us any...
Well, Esau uses violence against everybody else, but yet they want these other nations to stand back and just get their ass whooped. And so the so-called white man can come and just take their lands. And these other nations don't like Esau, Edom, and they're finding out who the real devil is. And once they find out who the real devil is, they're gonna start bombing this bitch. So Esau, Edom, you got a lot to pay for, man. These other nations hate you. These are no nation like white people.
How about peace and forgiveness at some point?
You need to tell that to Trump and Netanyahu, not me. I'm not bombing anybody. I'm not killing anybody.
You're bombing me sometimes. Don't bomb me.
No, I'm not. I know you're on my side, but since I'm breaking that wall down that you have. And this.
Never trust thine enemy. She's not on nobody's side.
No, I don't have a wall. I have a very clear opinion on. I want to solve problems out of harmony.
You can't do that when the wicked is in rule.
I'm still a fierce lioness, okay? I can be like that as well. You've seen me today. But
not when it comes to this subject.
She's not another fake J. Another fake J. She claims to be a J. She's not. All right. The brother on the right is a J. The brother on the right is a Israelite. The lady on the left is a non-Israelite. Alright? Let's just put it to you like that.
We got a motherless active shooter in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Where that is, I don't know, but this motherless fuck basically started a fire up in the mountain over there, right? Somebody called it in, or he called it in. And when the firefighters got there to put it out, he started fucking killing them. And they don't know if it's 1 or 4 people. And that's coming out of the fucking sheriff's mouth. They got people from Spokane coming over here to try to help. All I know is they literally said they're in a shootout with these fucking people right now. I don't know much.
Homes that are now destroyed. This is on Bristol Street. You can see that gap right there in the middle of your screen. Our crews say that neighbors have been telling them that they heard a loud boom just before 5 o'clock this morning.
I mean, it's something out of a movie.
Ladies and kids are.
You see this dude that's on the screen? That's a Jew. That's some brother from a tribe of Judah. Alright? Not no fucking Caucasians.
Homeless right now.
A CBS News investigation has uncovered a loophole that allows accused and convicted American pedophiles to escape justice by moving to Israel. So Ian Lee has been following this for more than a year, and he traveled to Israel for this investigation. He worked with a group that tracks people accused of sex crimes, which estimates dozens of Americans have used this loophole.
So, he's 6'2". We are on a stakeout looking for this man, Jimmy Julius Caro, 48 years old, and wanted on charges of sexually assaulting a 9-year-old girl in Oregon back in 2000 and a 5-year-old girl in Israel in 2001. He's considered dangerous.
And those are the same people that claim that they're the real Jays. Why would God love... I would just go to the next video, man. You got a lot of pedophiles out here.
It just found 60 missing children that were in Florida, y'all. Yes, I said 60. And the crazy part is where they found these children at. You wouldn't believe. They was not in no abandoned warehouse. They was not in the middle of nowhere. They were in regular homes, even motels. And some of the people that took them had them right in their homes. Right in their homes. Not a second.
Hey, what's going on, boss? I found a microchip. Our city's being taken over by a microchip program. Really?
Hold on.
What city? What city of St. Pete? St. Pete. This whole area has got a microchip program. It's being administered in some parts by military, by cops, and others.
We got one in your head?
Got one in my head right there. RFID.
All right, bro.
That's the mark of the beast, MOTB.
Hey.
I showed you this video. I wish I had a before and after, but this is a Caucasian woman who decided to get a facelift. That's what it's called. Look at her neck. Okay. See, you women are stupid. Here it is. You're 50 or in your 50s. And for you to try to hang on to whatever you have left, you get a facelift. Well, let me tell you something. When you get a facelift and when you go out to go meet a man and the man, let's say, you know what I'm saying, he digging you or whatever. And you be like, well, he trying to go home with you and sleep with you. From the face up, you good. When you take off your clothes, you go home. So you basically got a 30-year-old face on a 60-year-old body, a 60, 65-year-old body. It looks disgusting. This is the ultimate deception that you women like to try to pull off. And I've been seeing more and more plastic surgery videos of these women doing this. This is nothing more than wickedness, deception, and witchcraft.
Yesterday was 2 weeks from the surgery.
Look at her neck.
And, sorry, it's bright outside.
Look at her neck.
I am feeling a little bit better. I still
Look at her neck.
Swelling.
Look at her neck. Look at her neck. Look at her neck, bro. Look at from the chin down. She's old as fuck. You could tell by her hands. What dude want a woman with a pretty face and a body that look like an old woman? Nobody. That shit is disgusting. Moving on.
So on June 29th of 2025, a black Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van apparently exploded on 23rd Street South in Washington, D.C., resulting in a large plume of black visible smoke floating up across the entire city. According to the multiple sources that reported on this thing all over social media and official news sources, there's been no reported damage to nearby buildings, and there's no injuries currently as of this time, although the cause of the explosion still remains under investigation. Now, when I say Mercedes...
You know how there were rumors that they were throwing people out of cargo planes and it didn't make sense to transport that many people with cargo planes because it cost way much more money anyway? People have been washing up.
Now, look at her neck and look at her face. You see how that matches? But she's still busted though. Anyway.
On shores, still shackled together, deceased. This is no longer a rumor. This is what is happening. This is what us going to work every day is funding with our tax dollars, more importantly. This is why I've been begging people to...
I was just not talking about this yesterday at camp. What the fuck? Why are y'all using cargo planes like in Call of Duty World at War where you gotta jump out of for war with parachutes? These motherfuckers, y'all loading them up with the northern tribe, the so-called Latinos and Native Americans. Y'all loading these people up and dropping them in the middle of the fucking ocean, shackled together. And then you still want to claim that you're the chosen. You want to claim and try to say that you're the chosen people. When Yahweh Shemiah shall come back, this place is about to be destroyed, bro.
Breaking news. 5 more girls have gone missing in the Richmond, Virginia area. 5 girls of color have gone missing in the Richmond, Virginia area. I believe that puts us almost over 40 girls in the DC metro area that have been reported at this time. Please follow, subscribe, and save for more.
It just needs to be said very clearly that 4 black men hanging from trees in 1 week is not a coincidence. It's not an accident, it's not an incident. The fact that all 4 cases have said no foul play and then just close the cases, like at this point, all marginalized communities need to round the wagons.
With that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory going to Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakadash. Until next time, Shalom.